The Quench, where you ask, we answer.
Wow, what a beautiful evening that you're joining us right here at The Quench. Kwa pamoja nami MUNENE David. Na naamini ya kwamba tonight, ama this evening, kuna mambo ambayo tunataka kujifundisha. You know, we are living in a society that is basically a depressed society. A society full of fear, full of anxiety, full of depression, full of issues. Na ndio maana tunaona so many things happening. We've seen so many killings, you know, we've seen so much of drug and substance abuse. We've seen, yani, tumeona mambo mengi. Mental illnesses, they are on the rise. Why? Because of depression. And that is why this is something that we must tackle right here at The Quench. Remember, this is where you ask us and we give you answers. And not just answers, but real, authentic answers that can be relied on, that have been tested and proven. And of course, through our very able panelists that are on set. And let me tell you something. You need to call a few of your friends and tell them, by the way, you know what? Unakumbuka ile issue ulikuwa unaniambia? Vile ulikuwa na stress. By the way, there are people here handling that very issue. Kuna watu hapo wanataka kukusaidia kuhakikisha ya kwamba haya mambo imewekwa katika kaburi la sahau. Thank you so very much and welcome to The Quench. Now, very well, men of God, ningependa kuwakaribisha sana katika The Quench. Na hapa, you see these members of the audience, they are full of questions. Maswali wako nayo sio mawili. Ni maswali mengi. And I know that by the grace of God, Mungu atawasaidia tu kuweza kuwajibu maswali. The good thing, of course, I'll not be answering any questions. I'll just help to get the questions, but mambo mengine tawachia. Lakini kama tuendelee bali, si kwanza introduce to the audience right here on set, and you can use this camera to the members at home.
Good evening, viewers. My name is Pastor Joshua Sirengo. I pastor Destiny Worship Center, Nakuru, the Revival Chapel. I'm married to one wife, Ruth, and we have 3 children. One went to be with the Lord, but we have Ariella and Malachi. That is my family, and I am a pastor, and I love God.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Is man of God.
Yes, my name is Pastor Joseph Duo from KAG to Musifu, and I'm married to Margaret Wajiro. We have 2 sons, that is Emmanuel and Chris. And leo tuko hapa so that we may discuss the issues of depression and stress. God bless you. Good evening, viewers.
Amen. Wow. Matters, depression and stress management. Unajua kuna kitu hata unajua kuna mambo huwa inanishangaza kidogo. Watu wanaenda shule kusomea vitu mingi. Business management, as you administrative management. Lakini sasa leo hatukwenda shule kusomea hiyo, lakini sasa tuko hapa ku discuss kitu. Management ingine. On speak about in organizational management ya stress management, as in we want to manage stress in all levels, right? Ikuwe ni katika our workplace, ikuwe ni katika marriage, ikuwe ni katika our personal lives, ikuwe kama ni vijana katika mashule. But before tuende kwa audience, because hawa wako na maswali mengi sana leo, men of God, did you ever have an incident, ama a circumstance, ama a situation where you were either depressed or you encountered a person in a critical case of depression? Maybe I start with Pastor Joseph.
Yes. Personally, I have met so many people with stress. And, you know, stress graduates to depression. Now, you see that person is because he was a believed person. Na akaachwa na mzazi, alafu nakuta wale ambao walienda kumuongelesha, you know, the language they used made him more depressed, kwa sababu walisema ya kwamba amechukuliwa na Bwana, alimpenda sana. Sasa wakati unaambia mtu amefiwa ya kwamba alipendwa na Mungu sana mpaka Mungu akamchukua na akamwacha akiwa mtu mdogo, ikampatia stress na akaenda to be depressed. But by the will of God tuliweza kumuongelesha na tukaanza kutoa hiyo kasuba ya kwamba si mambo yote ambayo inatendeka iko under control yetu. Some things are not under our control, na tukamwelezea mambo tu ya accepting. You know, when you accept is the time you start being healed. Na wakati umekubali matokeo, sasa kuanzia hapo unaanza kupona pole pole. Na tunasemaga you accept, then you adjust to the new situation. Ya kwamba this person, I'll never see him again. Alafu ukiadjust, then you advance. Advance is moving forward.
Yes.
Na unasema maisha inaendelea. Na hivyo ndivyo alipona.
Yes.
Na tunashukuru Bwana leo anaweza fariji wengine.
So you mean ni kama stress ama depression ni ugonjwa? Ni kama ni ugonjwa?
Yeah, ni ugonjwa.
Yes, okay. Na umesema you accept,
you adjust,
you adjust,
and then you advance.
You advance. So kwa lugha ya vijana wengi unajua watasemaje? Kubali yaishe. All right, so yes.
Yeah, on my case, I've encountered people under depression. Myself, I've never been depressed. I don't think, because the symptoms of depression are a bit deeper. But I've had a lot of stress because of life issues.
Yes.
And let me say, at our current time, stress is all around, from young children, even to adults, all of them. We are seeing cases of very young people very depressed. And I think to understand how to manage it is the big issue. But on my point, I'll say stress is part of life, and how you handle it is the most important thing. Because stress comes to push you to the next level. You can never go beyond your level of stress. And you see, stress is, in its definition, it's the feeling of inadequacy, the ability not to achieve something. So when you are feeling that, then you start getting depressed. But once you figure out how to deal with it, you kitu ilikuwa stress, inaacha kuwa stress. It's like the way you are in class 1 and everything seems to be hard. But once the teacher teaches you and you know, you go to class 2 and that is it. So when you take stress as part of life, not as an enemy, then you'll be able to advance through life. That's my take on that. So
the ingredients of life, one of the ingredients of life, za kutengeneza the meal ya kukua successful inaitwa stress. So wale ambao umekuwa ukiona stress kama kighost fulani kiko hapo, but that is why we are here to show you how we can be able to manage that stress. By the way, from the members of the audience, nani amewahi kukua in depression ama ukakuwa na a friend mwenye alipata stress ikapita ikakuwa up to depression? We have one. Would you tell us maybe what happened?
What happened was after the exams, Zamuk, I failed beyond what I had expected, and I got a D plane in the mock exams. It's true, everyone else had failed the exam, but to me that was something I have never thought of. That I can fail to that point.
Yes.
And the whole day nilishinda nikifikiria, now I've become a failure. The KCSE exams are just in 3 months time, and I don't know even how I can change that. And so that's why now I decided I decided I won't go home. Nitajaribu nione kama nitasoma kiasi.
You were in day school or in the board school?
I was in day school. I was in day school.
Yes.
But sikuweza kukaa shule. I went home. Vile tu nilifika home, it can hit sana that nimefail and I'm a failure and all that stuff. I knew ningeambia dad about my failure, Kenya angesema. And because my dad is that tough guy, ananifunzanga vitu the hard way. So yeah, so that day after nimefika home, what came first in my mind is I commit suicide, and his story ishie tu hapo. Haikuwa ati ikue first time, because I had tried it before, and I had tried it like 4 times before now ni ifike hiyo sasa time, but hiyo ilikuwa some years back. but now the mind imenikujia tena, and so I was thinking of something yenye itakuwa very fast than hizo zingine zenye nishaijaribu. Something that ingekuwa very very fast, like within some minutes, hours, I'm gone. We go there, we talk with God, and I know what is the problem. So vile nilifika home, I took, nikachukua madawa fulani zilikuwa home, around 17 pills. Zilikuwa zingine expired kiasi, na hizi zingine nilichukua tu, kuna penye tu zinaekangwa. So nikachukua, and then siku zimeza zote. I took 9 first. Then I said, maybe if I don't go, I'll take more. So nikachukua 9, and 5 of them zilikuwa expired, na hizo zingine, na kulikuwa na nyingine ya kumeza ya liquid. Then so after that nikasikia nikakaa kidogo, and then nikasikia nikana katika tumbo. Hivyo na feel tu feeling tu mbaya. Then sijui nikafeel aje, nikapotea tu. Nikapotea. And then nikakaa that day, every time my dad anakujanga home, lazima ulizie niko wapi. Every time and every day akikuja, that is the first question anaulizanga. But this day hakuuliza. Alikuja akakaa ka watch ball. Hakuuliza. Mimi sijui nilikuwa kwa room nimelala chini huko tu, chini tu kwa simiti, sikuwa najisikia. And then saa imefika saa 4:30 ndio anakumbuka. So akaulizia hiyo time. Then akakuja akaambiwa nimelala, akakuja kuniangalia. Kuniangalia akaona hata sijisikia, hata sijui nini. Anajaribu kunitap siamki hata. Yeah, saa hivyo ndivyo my sister was telling me. Alikuwa anajaribu kunitap siamki. Then so ikafika time akanimwagilia mpaka maji. Kaona nikaa siamki, akanipea samawas, nikaamka. But nikaamka na hasira. Why am I still here? And so naamka napatana tu na uso ya babangu hapo. I'm like, what? Not again. So akaniuliza, and then nikampea the story. And then akakasirika sana. Baadhi alikasirika.
Ya kwamba umefail ama ya kwamba umejaribu
kucommit
suicide?
One nimefail.
Yes.
Ya pili nimechukua nini mbaya.
A bad action. Yes.
Nimechukua bad action. But siku hata najua, hata nilikuwa tunaona nikaa tu ananipigia kelele hata yeye. So after ametoka hapo, alikaa hapo akaniletea warm water nikakunywa, akaenda. After ameenda sasa ndio nikachukua zile zilikuwa zimebaki. Nikazimeza. Akakuja after some hours. Bado nilikuwa na fungua macho kidogo. Akaniangalia, akaona hakuna. So akajua nimechukua hizi zingine. Akafikiria kunipiga lakini akaona hapana itawaka. So akaanza kuniongelesha. It was my first time hearing my dad telling me I love you. And ali-express feelings zake hiyo day. So alikuwa ananiambia vitu hapo, ananiambia. Mimi namwangalia macho tu ikifungika tu. Kifungika mpaka ikafungika. So hizo vitu zingine alisema after there, I don't know what he said. But aliongea sana.
So now were you taken to hospital or what happened?
Now the following day ndio saa my dad akakuja asubuhi. Akaona bado sijaamka na lazima angeenda job. Akaniandikia notes. Akaniambia don't go to school today. Nimekuachia 500 bob hapo. Go to hospital, ukue checked, and then you come back and relax for the week. So asubuhi kufika nikapata hiyo pesa, nilikuwa na njaa sana. But sikufikiria hiyo nini ya usiende shule. Niliamka at 8. Nikachukua nguo nikavaa nikaenda shule. But kufika shuleni hiyo pain ikarudi. Nasikia kukata tu kwa tumbo. Hiyo chungu ikazidi mpaka siwezi kuamka. So my deskmate akanichukua, kanipeleka kwa teacher, nikapelekwa home. Okay. So kufika home, my mom ajui anything. She's totally blank.
So it is your issues and the only person who knows that is your dad.
My mom hakuwa anajua anything. So nikaenda nikamwambia, wacha nikimbie hosi. Nini. Kimbia hosi, sikufika. Nikafika place fulani hapo hivyo nikaona chemist. Nikakuwa na idea ni buy tu madawa zingine. Alafu niende home. Nikabai madawa hapo, nikaenda hoteli fulani hapo nikakula tu, so nikarudi home. Nikaambia madhe, Jumathe at that time nilipata shaambiwa na dad everything. So nikaambia madhe, nimeenda OC, wamesema nitakuwa sawa in a couple of days. So alafu saa from there nikakaa home and hakujua anything else.
So kutoka hapo, at least now you recovered from that depression.
Yeah, now the following day nikapelekwa kwa counselors, about 4 of them. Yes, and tukaongea and saa hiyo kitu.
Wow. Now that's quite a story. And I'm wondering how many young people, how many students are going through issues, especially masomo related, either masomo imekuwa ngumu ama umeambiwa huku ukifail huku usirudi. Sisi huku kwetu is a family of doctors and teachers and engineers. So wewe sijui unataka kufanya nini ati unatuambia you get a C-. For real? No. How many young people are there suffering? So it is very important, very key tuweze kujua kwamba wanafunzi na watoto wako na very many issues wanapitia. Now, I don't know what you have to say on that.
From that experience that he had, I think when you look at what you get after you do what you are doing in response to the stress, is the most important thing. Now that you went through that, what did you do? Yeah. And how did it benefit you? Because many people result into bad behavior because of their, for example, if you are stressed about work or you're stressed about school, in that matter, there are people who get so stressed they don't study. Yeah. Or you get so stressed you don't go to school. So how has it helped your education? Why don't you look for another way? Yeah. Because one way of overcoming stress is just getting organized, planning yourself, yeah, scheduling your time, having priorities is one thing. Like, for example, you failed. You should have gone to that, your results and looked at what did I fail? Maybe you didn't fail everything. Yeah, there are subjects you're good at. But also, kuna ile yenye maybe umelemewa. So that is where you need to improve. And once you do that, you overcome that. Instead of thinking of, like wengine wanasema, me I go drink. After you drink, see, the problem becomes bigger. You don't have money, and also you don't have
the umegongwa kidole.
Na ile problem is bado iko hapo.
Yes.
You get the point. So it's how do you benefit from those, because they are afterthoughts. After you have experienced that stress, what do you do? Yeah, because there are people, stress has made them. It's stress, yeah. That's why I was saying from the beginning that stress is part of life. You cannot run away from it. Actually, the higher you go, the more stress you get. Yeah.
In fact, David says in Psalms that in distress, you have enlarged me.
Exactly.
Yes.
In distress. So when you look at it as part of life, if it's marriage, maybe if you are not, things are not working out in your marriage, then that means there are areas you need to improve on. Maybe it's your communication, maybe it's how you handle money or issues, yeah? But now in our case for young people, now when you are facing stress, what comes to your mind? So when you interrogate that thought, yeah, and try to come up with a better plan for it, then you'll be able to overcome that stress.
That is true. Beautiful. Now, from the members of the audience, what are some of these things, apart from sasa kama hiyo ya masomo, ambazo zimewahi kukukosea stress, ama huwa zina cause stress, or maybe there is that friend of yours, that colleague, mwenye unajua huyu ndio uniletea stress. What are some of these issues that especially the young people in our cause stress mingi sana, and this is the point of being in depression? Yeah, we have somebody right here. Yes.
My name is Grace. Kuna time wazazi huwa wanaargue mbele yako. Wewe mwenyewe unajua wafai kuargue mbele yako because you don't deserve that. Wanafaa kwenda kwa bedroom, wanaargue huko, lakini wanakuja wanaargue mbele yako. Unakuletea stress hata ukienda kwa shule huwezi kusoma vizuri.
So unakumbuka tu ile makelele ulikuwa na So let's get another one. Nimeona kuna so let's get yes, tuchukue hiyo na nyingine pia. We also get the third one here. Yes.
Praise God.
Amen.
I'm Victor. Mine is viewing stress at another perspective, na mostly when affect the young, the youth, sana teenagers au wenye wako high school. tuseme form 2 mostly inakuaga addiction, then persistence, then failure. Tuseme nilikuwa addicted into drugs ama sexual sin ka pornography, nilikuwa addicted kabisa. Then nikapreachiwa ama nikaongeleshewa, nikaona hii kitu kweli ni mbaya, na nika make a decision ya kuchange. After ku make your decision, nikakaa for a whole week without doing that thing. Then this other week nika mess tena. Kisha nika Sunday tukapreachiwa tena. Nikakaa vizuri hiyo wiki. This another week, yani I keep on failing until so I reach a point.
Failures and successes.
Until I reach a point naona siezi. Now that stress inakuja, I'm just a failure. I can never do anything right. I can never get out of this addiction.
So knowing that it is wrong, but then you don't have the willpower and the ability ya kutoka hapo.
Will uko nayo lakini
but the power haiko ya kutoka. All right, that's the second one. Now I think we are noting that. Then let's get the third one here, and then we will be able to respond to them.
Margaret, I have 2 questions. One, yenye my neighbor ameuliza ya parenting. Kuna wakati I think wazazi I think ako stressed ama sijui ni nini. Like mkiwa sitting room mama pale mko anakuja anakugonga na an issue, like maybe ni kikombe hujatoa. So ile kitu anakwambia hata relate. Wewe ni responsible kama babako, you are like imetoka wapi, like
na washangi vikombe.
anakuattack. Yes. Then ukitafuta ile reason imefanya kuattack totally hakuna.
Yes.
Okay, iko maybe kulingana na yeye, but hata una feel unaweza muuliza kishua umeniuliza nini. Unaona, so kuna hiyo ya wazazi. Yes. Na pia kuna hii issue ya youth. Sema kama mimi sasa umekuwa in a relationship, then wewe una expect it lead to marriage. Then boom, unaputa mtu alikuwa anakuchukua kama backup plan, wako na ingine, so kidogo kidogo unajipata uko peke yako. Maybe amkuwa abstain. So those are 3 questions in fact. Au ku abstain. So uko na mjukuu pale ndani ya tumbo.
Na ulikuwa backup plan.
Nitoe ama nifanye aje?
Watumishi.
Yes.
Mnasikia mambo? Now, najua we may not have time ya kurespond kwa zote before we go for the short break first. Lakini kwanza kuna hii ya wazazi kugombana mbele ya watoto ama ku-attribute some of the failures and some of the actions za watoto wanazi-attribute na failures of the spouse. Yeah? So this one na ina affect watoto. So how do we help them? To begin na hiyo hapo kwanza. Kabla tuja kuja kwa hii ya kuachwa na mjukuu na hii ya persistent failure. Yes.
Let me take before he takes it. The parent, you need to understand how to cope with stress, because there are ways of how to deal with stress.
Yes.
If you are stressed, there is a way you can deal with it. Don't take it to the children. There are ways like you can take a 10 minutes walk, just to calm down that, or go for exercise, or listen to music. Just before you come home, try to deal with that thing before you come and drop it to the children, because they may not be able to respond to that weight. And then also arguing, and this one is very common because sometimes, and you see it's inakujanga tu, unakuta tu mmeanza voice imepanda before you realize mtoto alikuwa amekaa pale
kana kamekondua macho hivi kama macho yote
kanalia. Sasa hiyo unafikiria mpaka tunalia, and then later on you come to discover that they are asking you, what were you arguing about? So if we can try to, because it's not easy.
Yes.
Just try, work together. Ambia tu mama fulani, can we go to the room please and talk about something?
Na akikosa kwenda, wewe enda, atakuja. Yeah, naona I see a man of God here wants to respond, lakini naona time kwanza imesonga. Now what we'll do, we go for this short break, yeah, this commercial break, and then tukirejea there are those two questions ambazo pia we have to respond to. Yeah, kuna hii ya kuachwa, ya kurukwa, you know, backup plan. Ni kama ni side hustle. Ni kama ulikuwa side hustle. Side and then kuna hii unaanguka, unajua ukweli lakini umeshindwa kutoka in a certain mess. How do we deal with that kind of stress? We'll not go too far because we'll be back after this short break.
The Quench, where you ask, we answer.